disable.
Control this one. Let's start preview. Tripulação precisa ser errado. Start. Your vlogs coming on. 010. This one calibrated. This one here. This one. This one here. Already revised here. Flight director constraint, arc-10 constraint. First restrictions is 7,000. Constraint, arc-10. Até aqui, oxygen test.
Beleza, tô tirando o fone aqui.
Let's do it. We have 130, 134, climbing at 7,000, 1010, ground speed 0, Avalon is 3.4. Cuiabá is 0.5, the first one here. Pressurization auto start to normal fuel, 7,400 balance, data position monitor on nav. Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
We have 11,200 balanced.
Seat belts
On.
ADIRS.
Now.
Burrow reference
QNH 1010.
QNH 1015. Cockpit preparation checklist complete.
Techie, external power.
Tô tirando a fonte. Posso tirar o ar-condicionado?
Affirmative.
Tranquilo. Te aviso quando terminar o cheque de segurança.
Cuiabá, Azul 29883, request clearance to Campinas to flight level 390. (2983), ready to copy. Cuiabá, Azul 2983. 2983, ready to copy.
2983 is cleared to Sierra Bravo Kilo Papa. Flight Xuvu to Alpha departure, with a POVNI transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 35. Climb to flight level 060 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 3 minutes after departure. Approach on 119 at decimal 4. Squawk 4226.
4226 here. Azul 2983, Cuiabá, requesting flight level 3902, Campinas.
Azul 2983 readback correct. QNH is 1010, let us know when you're ready for pushback.
Cuiabá, Azul 2983.
Azul 2983, Good afternoon.
Requesting flight level 380 to Campinas. Okay, General Aviation, birds, the wet.
Are you ready to call?
Affirmative, server, did you copy? Zo King, welcome to the stream, brother.
Campinas, Sierra Bravo, Cuiabá, SBCY route. Flight level 390. Runway using for takeoff is 3535 via showroom to Alpha Departure. Moving transition, Papa Oscar 6 of November, India transition, scope 6246.
ASUS 29 483, clear to Campinas, flight level 390, departure runway 35, Shuvut to Alpha with Povni. After departure will be with you, squawk 3246. Request pushback, ASUS 2983. Request pushback 2983. Aviation e Birds, a gente mantém separação visual aí, a gente tem a subida então na de Shuvut de Alpha com Povni de beleza, com Povni. First restriction 070, 070 is there, MSA 4000 and the Mora 3900. The extra fuel time for departure for alternating Galleon is 0.514 minutes. The hotspots, no hotspots here for departure on the runway 35. The taxi will be via Charlie Echo Delta and the stop margin 225. Engine out just said we're going to continue climb via seat. We need to return, we are under the maximum landing weight. No special operation other than the standards. Cockpit already done. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard flight 2983, destination Campinas. Our estimate time en route today is 1 hour and 45 minutes. As soon as we start to descend, I'm going to update you with the weather and the destination and also the time of arrival. Thank you for your attention, enjoy your flight. Tripulação, cheque de portas. Tripulação, cheque de portas. Tec na escuta.
Opa, na escuta. Cheque de segurança efetuado. Portas e porões fechados. Trator e barra conectados.
Vou pedir o push de jet, só um minuto.
Beleza, na sua escuta.
Oi, Ana.
Portas checadas. Aeronave ok.
Obrigado, bom voo pra gente.
Bom voo. Até já.
Before start checklist.
ATC.
Auto.
Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
V1 135 130 134 flex 64.
V1 146VR 146V2.
Let's go.
124/7 flex 68 windows
Closed.
closed beacon
On.
before start checklist complete.
Tech. Tail solto. Push with tail left. We are clear de push.
Iniciando o push. Te aviso quando a área do motor estiver livre. Motor 1 livre.
Roger. Starting engine 1. Twin Towers, I miss you. Come on. What's up?
Atenção aos procedimentos de segurança que serão demonstrados a seguir.
N1 girando.
Olá, eu sou a Ana Paula, em nome do comandante Josh e do primeiro oficial Tadeu Primo dou as boas-vindas a bordo para esse voo em parceria. Da poltrona na mesa e grandes equipamentos eletrônicos devem ser guardados. Por motivos de segurança, as tomadas serão desligadas para a decolagem.
2983,
Por favor,
request
pedimos
taxi.
que desconectem os carregadores e equipamentos eletrônicos. Para fidelar seu cintel de segurança, encaixe as extremidades e ajuste puxando a TI.
Check.
Para soltá-lo, levante a face externa da F-vela.
Aplicar parking brake.
Cruze sinalizadoras N piso e N tel indicará o caminho para as 10 saídas de emergência, que estão assim localizadas. 2 portas de cada lado da aeronave e 4 janelas sobre as
Removendo
asas.
trator e barra.
Localize a saída mais próxima,
Check.
lembrando que ela poderá estar atrás de você. Se for necessária uma
Check,
evacuação de
partida novo,
emergência,
normal,
deixe
vai ser
para
igual,
trás
obrigado
da
pela
roda de
força,
seus
até a próxima.
pertences. Em caso de despressurização, máscaras para
Até a
oxigênio
próxima.
sairão do
Bom voo pra
compartimento
vocês.
acima de seu assento. Imediatamente puxe a máscara para liberar o F-luxo de oxigênio.
2983
Coloque a
request
máscara
taxi.
sobre a boca e o nariz
2983 request taxi.
Somente
2983 taxi to runway 35, hold short runway 35.
máscara de proteção antes de usar a máscara de oxigênio do avião. Se um pouso de emergência ocorrer na água, use o colete salva-vidas que se encontrar embaixo de seu assento, vista e ajuste-o conforme demonstrado. Para enlar o colete, puxe os comandos.
1010, we're gonna taxi via runway as we have some NOTAMs here informing that we don't have the runway for taxiway echo. So we're gonna join Bravo and runway to backtrack.
É importante que você leia o cartão de segurança antes da decolagem. Em caso de emergência, siga rigorosamente todas as instruções dos tripulantes.
Report to line up the runway 35.
We'll inform them ready for departure. Start 2. We have pressure starting engine. Aqui o simulador abre de manhã e ele não fecha o dia inteiro, escampou. Do jeito que eu abro o simulador, ele fica aberto até o fim do dia, sem fechar. Pra você ver como é diferente, né, a pegada de quem tem formação em TI e sabe como usar, né, um simulador de forma eficiente, né. As pessoas reclamam que o Flight Simulator 2024 é um simulador extremamente instável. E olha aí, fica com o simulador aberto às vezes 10, 12 horas sem parar e o simulador não dá uma pane. After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
28.5.
Rudder trim.
Neutral.
After start checklist complete.
Flight controls check.
Yet. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder check.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Taxi checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flaps settings.
Config 2.
Config 1 plus F radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and on.
ECAM memo.
Take off no blue.
Taxi
Yes.
checklist complete.
And ASUS 2935 ready for takeoff. O cara tá bêbado, parece. Clear for takeoff 2935. cara controla no aeroporto só e ele fica pensando em qual pista ele vai te autorizar para decolar. Clear for takeoff, runway, caraca, velho. Só tem 2 pistas aqui.
Azul 2983 contact tower on 118.1. Enjoy your afternoon.
1181, have a nice day. Warm up time almost completed. 2983 ready for takeoff.
2983 winds are 028 at 3 knots cleared for takeoff. Runway 35 caution wave turbulence squad 4226.
Clear for takeoff runway 35. Warm up now completed. 50% power. Run.
Checked.
Forward pressure. Takeoff.
Yep.
On flex 60. SRS runway addressable.
Checked. Thrust set. knots.
Check it.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Nav.
Checked.
Thrust climb, climb, auto thrust.
Checked.
Flaps 1, please.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Autopilot 2.
Checked.
Azul 2908, reclimb to flight level 150.
150. Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Azul 2908, contact Cuiabá control on 119.4. Enjoy your afternoon.
194.
Azul 2983, good afternoon. Squawk 4226.
E aí, Black Hawk, o Beyond ATC, qual que é o problema dele, né, cara? Por que eu continuo usando aqui o Pilot ATC e não usando o Beyond ATC? O Beyond ATC ele é muito programado em cima da programação FAA. Então, para você usar ele no Brasil, fica um negócio bem distorcido assim do que a gente é acostumado a ouvir no real para o que eles usam no padrão FAA de comunicação. Então, é um negócio que não é muito natural pra gente que voa real, cara. É meio esquisito aquilo lá. Trade decimal 5, have a nice day. Let's go to an
Você já
request
sabe, mas não custa lembrar.
fly direct
Não
Bobby.
fumar agora. Durante o voo, nem tenha seu cintel afivelado. Mesmo se o aviso luminoso estiver apagado. Em instantes iniciaremos nosso serviço de bordo.
Roger, Bobby 390, thank you. Press climb, climb, 390. Switch belts off. Set standard.
Standard cross checked. Passing flight level 048. now.
Check it. Outra coisa do Beyond ATC também, o delay é muito gigante, cara. O delay que você manda a mensagem e espera a resposta, eu acho absurdamente lento, cara. Então acaba quebrando muito o snapping de tão rápido que a gente é de falar e responder, de trabalhar na fonia, deixa você assim, tipo, 3, 4 segundos esperando uma resposta. Eu acho um absurdo de tempo. Se você quer delay na resposta, trabalha na Rival, cara. Rival já é péssima, já no delay já te atende.
Tripulação, 10.000 pés.
Clear radio name.
Clear radio name.
Copy second flight plan.
Copy.
Progress. Flight level 350 is the optimum and 375 is the maximum.
390 maximum, 36. Let's jump direct to 390. Progress, performance, flight plan, fixed info, Sierra Bravo, the Oscar, the first one. Sierra Bravo, Campo Grande, the next one. Six, 2, 4, 6 now active.
Thank you.
Rondonópolis. And that's it. Let's jump out of here now. E aí, Sherpa? Tarde, meu irmão.
Radar test terminate. Please tune the call to this Mali. Have a good night. See you next time.
128. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Enable.
Azalto 9083, climb to flight level 310.
310. continue climb. Let's monitor. Can remove this one. Direct to Company. Crossing 22,000. And look at these visuals. Leon, hello, welcome to the stream. Or live. This is Flight Simulator 2024. Wow, you are real pilots. Glider pilots are real pilots, because if you can manage to fly an aircraft that don't have an engine, you are the guy. German Aviation, welcome aboard. Thank you, bro. No, I don't think it is scary, but you need to have a lot of... I understand that it's a technical issue that we have to fly without an engine, but it's a completely different type of flight. I'm flying this guy here in real life, Airbus A320 and a 321. But before I came here to fly the Airbus, I was flying with the Cessna Caravan.
3 climb to flight level 390.
390 2983, take care. Balaclava Billy, no bro, I'm just flying a regular flight that we usually do here in Brazil. I'm just flying to my real airport base from Cuiabá to Campinas. If you are flying without a motor, is one less thing to worry about. Yeah, I can assure that it's real. This is real. I'm checking that out right now, for sure. You have 2 videos, that's it? At least I'm seeing 2 shorts here. Is it? Is that one? What can climb to reach cruising altitude if you go to standard, the flight director goes off? Why can't I climb to reach the cruising altitude if I go to... Naruchi, I don't have fucking idea what are you talking about. What airplane are you flying? What Airbus are you flying, to be fair? What a version? What the simulator that you are flying? Ah, you just started a channel. It's a new channel. I also have 2 channels. This one, that is for flight simulators in general. And I have another one, that is my real life experience in the aviation. But then the other one is not that famous, like this one. This one here is the one that I share a lot of videos of my This one is the one that I share my videos in real life about. Most of them is flying the Cessna Caravan, the last airplane that I was flying, and I'm trying to make a last one video using the Cessna, the Airbus, because I'm flying the Airbus since last year. So probably in a few months I will release a new video only featuring the new airplane that I'm flying now, that is the Airbus. Yeah, bro, I have no idea. I'm a real pilot on the Airbus A320, but I don't know what is happening with your A350. Yeah, this channel, my main channel that I post a lot of videos, aviation videos. It's a channel that I have at least for the last 15 years. So I have a lot of videos from my career there. I just usually I post my videos once a year, where I will film a lot of short videos during my flights, and in the end of the year, usually I make one film with all all the scenes that I recorded during the year in only one clip. I think it's the best way to do that, because you will do a lot of memories in only one video that you can post once a year. So I think it's the best method to make my recordings here and have these videos here for my memory in the future. Baby Flight 98. E aí, mano? Doing similar to Tokyo, Dario. Take a look to your YouTube channel now. I'm the IASA ATPL course finishing now theory. Only FOV and RLL. Oh, running. Man, to have a IASA ATPL is not that easy. I know that you have a lot of different. I think you have 18 lessons that you need to learn to have your IASA. Here in Brazil, we only have to do the ICAO. I think it's six. It's only. I think it's only six different. Let me see here if I have this one in IASA here. I think the ICAO is the easiest one to achieve. Tudo bem sim, Nip. E aí, cara? Mas faz parte, pra falar a real, também tava trabalhando bastante, eu tava não voando esses dias aqui. Theory subjects. My god. Here we have, I think, for the private pilot we have meteorology, the regulations, what else? The technical knowledge that you need to have to basic maintenance of the airplane, flight theory, and the last one I don't remember. I don't know, but I think it's in the I think the last one, I think for the commercial pilot there's not much difference from the other one. I think air traffic regulations is different for commercial pilot, and I don't know what else. It's 15 years that I recall my 9-4 by Leon. It's for FAA or for what is the regulation that you are doing your TPL? Here in Brazil it's a little bit different because you know that you have to study a lot, but usually the first part to you get the licenses is really easy to do. It's not that hard to do. You have a lot of sites that you can do a lot of simulations of the test that you're gonna take to make the private pilot or the commercial pilot. But the hardest part here in Brazil is not to get your license, is to get inside the airliners, because at least you have to have 150 hours. That is the minimum here in Brazil. Some airliners will request that you have at least 500 hours. But the tests that you need to make to get inside the airliners, this one, it's really that hard. So you need to study a lot to get inside the companies here. E aí, João Carlos, brasileiro sim, mano. A gente voa naquela empresa brasileira que tem a cor do céu.
Checked.
A gente voa Airbus 320, 321 aqui no Brazuca. We have air law, principles, flight inertia navigation, radio navigation, performance, mass balance, meteorology, flight operations, aircraft general knowledge, communication, human performance. Yeah, Dario, I understand that most of those peer subjects are included. For example, air law here are included navigation, radio navigation too. It's almost in human performance is also in the same subject. So I think that's why we have a little less subjects to study here in Brazil. Probably because major of those are in the same category. Não sei porque o pessoal fica fazendo. Você que voa Airbus, por exemplo, Olipezinho, e vê que você pousa tranquilo aí no seu simulador em casa, você vai pousar o avião sem quebrar, numa boa mesmo. Se os caras ficam falando de que o cara nunca vai conseguir voar, pode ser que um Boeing o cara não consiga pousar dentro da pista ali, né? Mas um Airbus, meu amigo, sem chance alguma. Pousa com tranquilidade, qualquer criança de 12 anos pousa esse avião. O pessoal faz muito pano preto, mas o avião é mais simples do que o pessoal pensa. Yeah, 13 subjects. This is not that easy to study, for sure. For sure. No doubt about it. All the theory is useful, but the best part is the practical, no doubt. Man, how I hate these colors on the Flight Simulator 2024. I don't know where they become with these colors. Really? You think that in real life we always have this kind of colorful? I don't know why they tend to make everything so cartoonish in Flight Simulator Studios. The X-Plane is going a lot better in this regard. The colors, the lighting, the clouds, everything is doing a lot better in the X-Plane nowadays. The night lighting. As a real pilot, it's hard to see what is going on. They think that really we have every day that we're gonna have a sun like this, a sunset, it's all will be colorful like this. No, it's not that colorful every day.
Azure 2983, good evening. Squawk 4226.
4226.
Azure 2983, radar contact.
Thank you. Let's see how's the weather in the destination at TSU. How's Siminu? Message Sierra Bravo Kilo Papa. Weather request. METAR request. Let's see what is going on there. This is the first one. Message return. Receive message weather. We have 200 with 7, 29, 18, 200 with 7, 29, and 1018. The MEOS is 2239. We already have this one on a memory because we land here every day. It's our home base. 3177, 3177, and let's make this stop of descent a little backwards because we know Phoenix don't know how to calculate our descent profile. 6000, and I want to pass this fix here. It's 220 knots. What else? The limit. I'm gonna cross Kilo Papa 201 at 100. Let's see what we can do to make our limit here a little bit further. 0. Let's cross this one at 090, and everything will be fine.
Display in 90 Hz.
And everything will work now as intended. What else? Let's remove this limitation here. Below 160 we can cross that limit. And the top of descent below before utilot. What it can do? It can descend 5 miles before. So we can do utilot less 5, no, 80, 90, minus 90. And at this point, Papa Delta 001, we are going to cross this point at minus 389. That is 100 feet below the cruise altitude. So you're gonna ask her if you wanna climb or descend on this point. We're gonna descend on this point, insert, and now we have a complete rewrited VNAV to make everything works. Most enjoyable part has the light to make the video for me. Also, I have the rising sun right now, and I could see the same thing. And the physics are much better in X-Plane. Yeah, I no doubt about it, Darium. Especially for GA aircraft, X-Plane, it's there's no way to compare both simulators anymore. But the only one thing that I really miss there in X-Plane is the fact that we are using VR here, and to use VR, bro, the X-Plane is an absolute shit. It's impossible to get good performance and a good resolution there. We can't use it, for example, Pci-e or DLSS, some technology that we have available in modern games that we don't have there in X-Plane. So we can't use anti-aliasing to run X-Plane in the headset, in the VR headset. So that's why I'm not using VR, and probably I will not use VR for a while there. It's almost impossible to have VR in X-Plane, and we don't have good airplanes there. For the Airbus, for example, we have Tollies. That is the only one aircraft that we purposely have to fly the Airbus there in the X-Plane. But Tollies is not designed with the Tollies is not designed using 3D scans. So the measures that they have for the sizes inside the cockpit are done by hand. They are not using scans like the Phoenix are using. So for us that use virtual reality, is almost impossible to fly the Tollies because the airplane is completely different. You sit there inside the cockpit with the VR headset and you can see, it's impossible to see similarities comparing the real aircraft with the airplane that we are flying there. So for us that use VR, so it's impossible to use the Tollies in the X-Plane, unfortunately. I think the only one thing that we miss there, the explain, it's a better engine to run the sim, or they need to plan a new technology like the DLSS or the Pci-e to really focus on that inside the sim. That will automatically bring a lot of designers to develop new aircrafts to the sim, because I think the problem today, it's like, for example, if Phoenix decide to convert this aircraft to run in X-Plane, the X-Plane is so hard to run in the hardware nowadays because they have no optimizations to run in multiple cores in the CPU, and also to manage better technologies in GPU. That's why it's almost impossible to run new modern airplanes inside the X-Plane, because the technology that the simulator have is not compatible with how you can run, for example, an aircraft like Phoenix that use a billion of pixels and polygons in the development. It's almost impossible to run a kind of aircraft like that in the technologies that we have, like the Vulcan that we have in the X-Plane. As is, yes, this is the Airbus A320, the airplane that I fly in real life, and I'm just flying here in the flight simulator, enjoying this evening. No, as is the only simulator that I fly. Actually, it's Airbus A320 here using the Phoenix on the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Also the X-Plane. Sometimes I fly the X-Plane with the Airbus A320, the Thalys A320. Usually my flight sim development here is only for training purpose. I don't use the flight simulator to entertainment. So that's why I don't have a lot of followers here, because if you want to see some entertainment, probably you need to find another channel, because this one is only for the flights that are due in real life. Yes, I had DCS in the past, but I think since I got my VR headset 4 years from now, I've never installed it, because I was always using the flight simulator to learn new things that are useful for me in the real life. I don't know if you understand my concept, but for example, to fly military aviation and don't use that in my real life, I think it's not that valid to have here. That's why I don't like to use DCS anymore. Usually I have flight simulators, and in the past I was using a lot of it's simulators for the car simulators. For example, I was using the past, what is the name? I think is Assetto Corsa, and there another one simulators that I used to fly to run some GT3 in the Porsche Cup and other car simulators here. A lot of things that I learned in the past using those simulators, it's applied today in my real life too. For example, my car that I have, actually the car that I have nowadays, almost all mechanical maintenance that I need to do, I can do here at home because I'm familiarized with everything. Yes, I'm a real pilot. I fly the Airbus A320 and Airbus A321 nowadays. And today we have an upset recovery training, and we will start this training on the full flight simulator that the company at 1 AM. Oh my god, I almost no sleep today. I will arrive at 5 AM at home. It will be a long night. At least it will be fun. Do an upset recovery training, it's always fun. Game Chris, boa noite, mano. For this training, it will be 4 hours inside the simulator. Will be 2 first officers, 2 captains, the instructor, and we're gonna do probably a few maneuvers to recover the aircraft from this upset behaviors. the upset recover training will be the structure will position us in some upset maneuvers, and then we need to try to recover the airplane, and we need to be inside a structural envelope of the airplane. We need to relieve some G's. We are not allowed to apply too much G's, and we are not allowed to overstress the airplane in overspeed situations. So we're gonna train a lot of maneuvers. I don't know really what is the maneuvers that we're gonna do that, but probably the instructor will position the aircraft in some different positions, and then we need to recover after a few seconds. And then probably we're gonna do a few maneuvers as part of flying, a few other maneuvers as part of monitoring, and then we're gonna change the crew, and then they will start to do the same maneuvers as pilots. But the total will be 4 hours of maneuvers. But I'm doing that. I'm doing that with the Airbus, the full flight simulator in the company with the Airbus. It will be, I think, will be a recurrent training at least 2 times. I think we need to do this course at least once after 2 years. We are probably doing this this training because we have a loss of an ATR here in Brazil. I don't know if you remember that we have an ATR from Passaredo. It's a company that falls here in Brazil. I think last year, due to ice formation in flight. So these upset recovery maneuvers, it's probably because it's one of those motivations is because of this accident that we had here in Brazil last year.
Expect the upload 3 and from arrival with the upload transition for the ILS X-ray approach to runway 15 at Virigopos International.
Utilized one up arrival for LSX Zulu runway 15 Azul 2983. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator is really more complex. It's far away from what people think that it is a game. It's not a game. This is really, you really need to know what you are doing, especially in this kind of complex airplanes. But you need to understand that, for example, if you learn how to fly an airplane, a complex airplane like that, like the Airbus A320, Phoenix Airbus A320, and you really study this airplane using the real manuals that it's fastly available on the internet today to study this kind of airplanes. If one day you start to fly and come back to fly an Airbus, probably you have a lot of good time enjoying the airplane because you will not suffer during training. The flight simulators nowadays are so advanced that we almost have 99% of the failures, 99% of the multi-crew environment that we need to train when we are in the training for the real airplane. So it's a win-win situation. If you learn to use the flight simulator and the airplanes that we have, the third-party airplanes that we have today in this that are so advanced in the systems, you will really be really close of what we need to do in real life. That's why I do this, even flying the airplane almost every day. When I get home, sometimes I usually start the flight sim again and start to do my routine. It's because it's so close of real life, so that's sometimes I can train and do things that we almost never do in real life here in the flight simulator, and it will be almost exactly the same. For example, today we land the last live stream that I made a few hours back. I was landing in Cuiabá visually, doing a visual approach, doing the traffic pattern. That's something that we never do that in real life there in that airport. So that's the reason that I like to fly the flight simulator, because sometimes we stay almost a year without doing a visual approach. So here we can do that almost every time that I want. The Airbus depends on the country that we have, that you are as is. For example, here in Brazil, there are companies that have Airbus that requires only 150 hours. As soon as you get your license, the private pilot and the commercial pilot, you already have 150 hours, and you can join an airliner that can that you can fly Airbus with only your without any kind of experience. Yeah, daughter. Nowadays we have a so accurate terrain representation that we can do the visual flights before go to the real life scenario, because it's almost one by one. It's exactly like in the real life. You will see exactly where the landmarks will be. We can do that also in X-Plane, because we have a lot of software that are able to make the images from the satellites inside the sim too. It's not exclusively for flight simulator. My initial training on the Airbus was so easy, because every day before going to the flight simulator at the company that I was flying for, I was doing all the maneuvers inside the sim first. Like, for example, we need to do the emergency descent today. Next day we're gonna do an engine failure after V1. So all these maneuvers I was training in the simulator before with the VR headset, doing everything using the same space that we have inside the cockpit. So as soon as we start to do in the real aircraft and in the simulator, everything that I done at home was my muscle memory. I just need to apply the procedure, just knowing everything that I already done in the first hours of the day before going to the flight simulator. It's so easy, bro. You can fly any aircraft that you want. You want to download the aircraft that you want to fly, and then you can install it and fly. I don't know if you have a good flight 747 for flight simulator. I remember that PMDG was the studio. PMDG, I think was the studio that have the best 747 that we have for flight simulator, but I think the only platform that we have the 747 is for the prepared 3D. I don't know if they convert these aircrafts for flight simulator. The Airbus A380, we have an Airbus A380 for the flight simulator 2020 and 2024, but it's not that great. The systems that we have in this aircraft is only for entertainment. You will not have a studio level aircraft for the A380. It's a freeware aircraft, so you cannot complain, but it's not that great, the systems that are developed for the A380. But Dario, we don't have mouses inside the airplane. That's why I don't like this kind of interaction. For example, here in VR, what I have my joysticks controllers. I have this one axis that I use to make the steering. I have the rudder pedal, all developed by me using Arduino. I have my two potentiometers here, slided potentiometers that I use for my throttles. You don't need to see anything. For example, when you are driving, you need to see your gear stick. You need to see your brakes to drive your car. At night, you need to use all the lights on because you can see your brakes. You only feel, and you will able to fly exactly like in real life. It's like driving at night. You don't need to see any of the controllers that you're gonna use to drive the car. The VR is the same thing. You position the thing exactly at the same position that you are seeing in VR, and you never need to see where the sticks are, because as soon as you put your hand without looking, if with your eyes closed, you know where the side stick is. That's why you don't need to see anything in VR. But how am I gonna see my radios? It's exactly like in real life. It's there in the radios position. You don't need to see anything. let's start our descent. 6,000. Descent. Descent, auto blue. 060. When I went to A320C, I suffered a lot. I was like, I didn't know the aircraft even after I flight it a lot for 5 years in the sim. That's because it's a difference between fly the aircraft and operate the aircraft as the manual things you need to do. That's something that I really don't like. For example, as Isas was talking about, did you fly the DCS? For example, to me, to fly the DCS, what I need to do, I need to get the manual of the airplane that I wanna fly, and then start to discover, to trying to fly the airplane. I don't know how to fly an airplane without reading all the manual. I have this kind of addiction. Everything that I have, for example, if I buy a cell phone, I need to read the manual before I start using it. For example, if I buy a washing machine, man, you will think that I'm crazy, but as soon as I bought a washing machine, I need to read all the instructions first and then start to using the machine. That is something that I learned in aviation. I don't know why, but everything that I do inside an aircraft, first you need to understand how it works with the manual that the developer created, and then start to using the airplane. So that's why you flew the aircraft for 5 years, but you don't learn a lot that you need to learn. As is, we are descending right now. I'm thinking we are landing in 15 minutes. 15 minutes we are on the ground. And let's jump into VR again. Make our briefing to our descent and land this baby.
Disable.
Welcome back to VR. So the briefing for the arrival that we are running. So for Campinas we have hot air balloons, general aviation, and birds. And laser beams. We're gonna use visual separation for a lot of them. The general aviation we have the TCAS blue, and for laser beam we're gonna fall down your heads here to not have the beams on our eyes. The approach procedure that we're gonna do is UltraWide 3 Alpha. The chart is at 10-2 Foxtrot from 7th of August. You are descending via UltraWide. 4,800 is the Mora, and the MSA is 3,900 in the sector. We're gonna continue the approach with the ILS Zulu runway 15, descending into the minimums 2339er. 2339er is there. The missed approach altitude we're gonna climb to 6,500. After 3,000 we are turning right to Nuka. Let's make sure that the approach procedure is correct and the go around procedure. After 3,000 Nuka, climb to 6,500. And the extra fuel and time to alternate. Galeão is 1.4, 41 minutes. The guidance for approach will be alignless, autopilot 1+2, landing flaps will be 3, with stop margin of 325. Uzi of either reverse, auto brake low. We are planning to leave the runway on the Foxtrot. After landing on Foxtrot, we have the hotspot 6, 3, 5, and 1, and we're gonna taxi to gate 6, Bravo 6 on the apron 5 via Papa 3. No special operation, no standard procedures, and it's all done. You are the safety pilots on the web chat. If you have anything to add on our briefing, please let us know via chat. Performance next. And the flap 3 for landing, flap 3 for landing here on the overhead landing. And we are almost everything done. Coordenação no Campinas, passando 26 mil pés agora em descida para Ultilote 3 Alfa ou Azul 29983. Windows 15. We are passing 25, 23. 69, 89, we are 92. Yeah, you need to understand, Dario, that for example, I was in this the course that we were doing yesterday. Yesterday I was doing this course of upset recovery training. One of the things that I learned there, it's that for the spatial orientation, the human body use 80% of the vision. 15% is used our vestibular senses, that the sensors that we have inside the ear, only 5% is by our body. For example, the nerves that we have, for example, the movement that I'm doing, going up my arms here, for example, all the movements that I'm doing make this spatial orientation, and also the movements that I do, for example, tapping my feet on the floor, represent 5% of the equilibrium on the spatial orientation. 80% is the vision. So to fly an aircraft here in the flight simulator using a VR headset, you are having this 80% visual accuracy that you have to use to fly an airplane is done here in the VR headset. You need to understand that you have the vision like in the human vision. You have the both eyes with both different images that when combined you have this stereoscopic vision, that we have the depth perception. For example, I know that my controller is here on this button, and also know that the controller is touching the screen here. For you that are watching, for example, the live stream, you see only one image with your both eyes, but you are seeing only one image. Here, using the both eyes and have two images separated, you have this depth perception that is exactly like we have in real life. So for example, I was training for this aircraft before going to the flights, the full flight simulator in the company that I'm flying for. The training that I was doing here in the simulator to land, to flare the aircraft, to have this perception where I need to start the flare, where I need to reduce the engine, where we're gonna do start, or what height we need to start the flare. It's not based only with the radio altimeter. You are hearing 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and then you judge by this sound of the GPWS, you judge where to start the flare. But if you lose, for example, the indications here on the panel, you will still continue doing exactly like you do in real life here in VR, because the depth perception that you have, the distance that you have from the runway and where you are sitting, is like exactly like in real life. So you don't need to adapt anything when you are flying VR to fly in real life. And it's the same in the opposite direction. Everything that you do in real life, you can apply here in VR, but you have the same citation. Remember, we have 80% of our spatial orientation is done by vision. And if you are flying a flight simulator using your vision exactly like we do in real life, your connection with the flight simulator it's 100 times better. Nowadays, it's almost impossible for me. It's almost impossible to fly using the monitor. Sometimes I have some issues with the software, for example, that I'm not able to connect my headset when I'm going to land. Man, I prefer to stop the flight, close the flight simulator, because land without VR is almost impossible to be done nowadays. I can't judge where I'm gonna fly. I want to start the flare. Everything's so different. You don't supposed to sit on the left side of the cockpit. Yes, I was sitting in the left side in the last aircraft that I was flying. The Airbus nowadays, I'm the first officer, so I'm flying in the right side in the real life. That's why I'm using the right side here. But probably in a few years, I'm gonna join the left side again. use any mod for the controls. For me, it's a little bit tricky to control them on the knobs. So, Juanjo, we have a video explaining how I use my VR controllers here in the flight simulator. In real life, it's like you need to click and turn. But here in the flight simulator, I use these buttons, the A and B, to go down, go up, and then to click everything here inside the cockpit. You almost do everything exactly like in real life with these changes. I think I have a video here in the video description how I set up my controllers in the Flight Simulator 2024 and 2020. Let's say it's vital to know the limitations and to know how your brain works to improve your flight skills. Yes, Dario, I completely agree with you. Have you tried any critical situation or any fails like this? As is, I have a lot of videos. Probably you are new to the channel, but I have a lot of videos in the videos, the live streams. I have a lot of shorts here in my channel, all making a lot of emergency procedures here in this aircraft. Passing 100.
Tripulação, 10.000 pés.
Okay, we're gonna use landing system. Terrain your side, 10 on your side. We have below here, and progress with primary height. Everything that we do in real life, especially in the training, we do that here in Flight Simulator 2. Almost every week I'm doing a V1 failure or something, an engine failure or an engine fire. I do a lot of procedures, real life procedures here. Did I lost my connection? Oh fuck. I think I lost my connection. No. It's hard to make live streams living in a third world country. The internet at this time, I'm always having a lot of troubles at this hour in my country to use internet and make live streams. Set QNH.
QNH cross-checked, passing 9,200. Now.
Check it. Activate approach phase.
Approach phase activated.
Approach checklist.
Burrow reference.
QNH 1018.
QNH 1010 seat belts.
On.
Minimum.
Barrel to 339.
Auto brake.
Low.
Approach checklist complete.
A coordenação em Campinas, Azul 2993, aproximando de Nobre, está iniciando o IRS Zulu, vai informar 5 milhas. Couples International Airport.
Por motivos de segurança, as tomadas serão desligadas para o pouso. Por favor,
Yes, you can see that if you look for engine failure, for example, you will find a lot of videos of my training here doing engine failures on the rear aircraft. Sorry, on the flight simulator. Next altitude 3,800. Flaps 1.
International contact
Speed
tower
checked.
on 118.25.
Flaps
Good
1.
evening.
Ok, clear to LS
Preparar para
runway
pouso.
15, eu call you the tower 118.125, have a nice day.
Tripulação em seus assentos.
Oi, né?
Cheque de cabine ok. Bom pouso.
Thank you.
Azul 2983 UNH is 1018 at Fire Echo Coast International contact tower on 118.25. Enjoy your evening.
11825, have a nice day. Vertical speed minus 300. Glide lock
Azul
2, capture 2, autopilot 1 plus 2.
runway 15, call when
Checked.
established on final.
You call when established on final, have a now. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
The FO mod is find usable. It's not useful, it's essential. An aircraft like an Airbus is impossible to fly alone. You need to have any kind of multi-crew software to enjoy an aircraft like that. I think we have today the FS2 crew. I don't use FS2 crew here because it's a little bit different from the SOP that we use in the real aircraft here in Brazil for the company that I fly for. So I customized my profile in VoiceAttack to be able to do everything that I do in real life here in this aircraft. So I created my own profile. Speed selected 160. These black boxes available in the simulator, which records all your actions while flight. As is, to be fair, I use here, for example, I'm flying for a company, a virtual airline, that is the same name of the airline that I fly in real life, and the software of this company record everything that I'm doing from the beginning of the flight, before the pushback, until we stop the aircraft on the gate there. So everything is being recorded. It's like a black box for every flight. Every company, virtual airline that you decide to fly, and we have a lot of companies around the world, you will have this kind of softwares that record your flight. Manage speed. Gear down.
Gear down.
Passing SBCY 3,790 feet. Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
ECAR memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Autopilot off.
Checked.
Cat 3 single. Cat 1. E aí, Giorgio? Bem, Schneider. Pouso bom sempre vai ser, né? Chegando em casa. Aqui pode ser feio, pode ser de qualquer forma. O pouso que vai ser sempre bom. Chegando em casa é importante. 1000 stable.
Azul 2983 winds are cleared to land runway 15.
Clear to land 15. Have a nice day. Land.
Checked.
300. Minimum.
Continue.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel.
Azalta 983 exit runway when able.
70 knots.
Check. Why I have these stutters during lane? Mono braking.
Auto brake off.
Niner 83 request taxi.
Azalta 983 contact Campinas ground on 121.9 for taxi clearance.
121 for taxi. Thank you. Niner 83 request taxi.
2983 taxi to gate Charlie 4 by taxiways Foxtrot Charlie Golf Mike November 2.
Charlie Foxtrot November 2 for Azul 4982. What is going on here? Let's see how is the performance is 74. We have 30 frames per second. Why I'm having those stutters? I can't understand. So let's do our afternoon brief. 3. This one. Stop this one. Lights coming off.
Chegamos ao nosso destino. Permaneça com seu cintel afivelado.
After landing checklist.
Radar and predictive wind shear system off. After landing checklist completed.
That's it, guys. Welcome to Campinas.
Você já pode usar o seu celular. Observe as restrições nesse aeroporto. Só fumê nas áreas permitidas. Desejamos que você tenha um dia azul. Até breve.
Se você fizer um post dos $102. É isso? $102? Game Gamer. Então bora. Manda aí que esse daqui foi bom, hein? Are you flying register? Are you flying real register plane mode? Or you have no clue about features like this one? My sensitivities, it's I don't know if I can show you, because if I show this one for you, you will think that my sensitivity is a little bit different, but I will show you anyways. The sensitivity that I use here, it's less dual action, hardware settings. Let's put this down to see my taxiway. For this, I'm using plus 0.3 in my sensitivity here for the elevators, because since the last update that we did here in the Phoenix, I will need to open 3 minutes, shut down engine 2, and let me see what is going on. I'm having some stutters here that I don't have. Usually I don't have. Let me see what is going on here. Just a second. Under the hood. Having stutters, but it's because of my processor. I don't know what's going on. I forgot it. So as you saw, as I fly the real aircraft, I think that after the Phoenix update, the control sensitivity was too much musher. I need to give this the controllers a little bit more force to apply here. That's why I'm using the sensitivity a little bit more, a bump a little bit more. Some people remove the sensitivity. I need to add sensitivity to be as close as possible from the performance of the real aircraft to be the same behavior. Clear right side.
Clear left side.
It's completely the opposite like people think. The Airbus, when you see a video of an Airbus pilot doing this when landing, you need to understand that that pilot probably do not understand how the fly-by-wire works for the aircraft, because this airplane is like, to make the approach, you only use 1 millimeter, 1 centimeter to move your side stick to control the aircraft on the flight path. To land this aircraft, you don't need to use more than 3 to 4 centimeters of the runway center, of the side stick center. It's so close to be around 5% of the movement. Only that is sufficient to land this airplane. The roll is the same thing. Sorry, I think the roll it's only 0.1 plus 0.1, because I was feeling that the side stick movement was a lot was not that great, so that's why I put a little bit more aggressive line to sensitivity for. It's +3 for the elevator and +1 for the side stick for the roll movements. Clear right side.
Clear left side.
Lights coming off. Brake fan on. I don't know what is going on here to have some stutters here. Clear right side.
Clear left side.
Parking brake, maintenance, ground services, GPU, standby, connect, shut down engine 1, lights on.
Tripulação cheque de portas.
Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Parking brake set.
Engines.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Yellow electrical pump.
Off.
ADC.
Standby.
Parking checklist completed.
Cabine, Azul Tech.
Oi, Tech, tudo bem?
Tô ótimo. E vocês?
Bem também.
Sejam bem-vindos.
Então,
Como tá a máquina?
100% aeronave aqui sem reportes.
Me passa o remanescente e o óleo.
Vamos com 3.5. 18 minutos, hora 2.
Beleza, anotado. Vou iniciando o abastecimento com o recomendado, ok?
Combinado, a gente troca a tripulação de
Qualquer coisa me chama.
Valeu.
Spoilers.
Let's start the engines again and watch the replay. Dismiss. Okay, hate percentage. Final state ready. Activate. Let's get out of VR.
enable.
And go. It was minus 86. That's a good measure. Thank you, Dario. It was a pleasure to chat with you too. And I hope you get success with all your ATPL program. Boa noite, a gente se vê numa próxima aí. Já já a gente encerra a live. That's it for today, guys. I'm finishing the live stream now, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.